Yakuza Like a Dragon is probably the most insane, wacky, turn-based RPG I've ever played.
What the?
Play as a group of homeless people, scavenge the streets for spare change. Fend off gangsters by throwing breadcrumbs and beans to summon flocks of pigeons.
You're in it now.
And go to the job centre in hopes of finding work.
I'm telling you, are ready to work. You don't want these other losers.
Clearly influenced by Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest.
Yakuza Like a Dragon captures the essence of a true RPG, where you start out as a level 1 nobody, a homeless person in this case, and level up to almost godlike powers like calling in orbital lasers.
Let's get nutty!
You've got all this wacky stuff, but storytelling and character writing is still top notch. I was very quickly invested in new characters from the very first chapter.
Alright then. I'm ready to level up.
So Like a Dragon is actually the 7th main game in the Yakuza series. It's actually called Yakuza 7 in Japan. I've been working my way through the entire Yakuza series in the background, but I wanted to go the extra mile with 7 and complete it 100% and review it. If I had known this was so brilliant, I would have worked through the Yakuza series a lot faster.
Welcome to the party.
Like a Dragon is actually a great point then at the Yakuza series, because it's a soft reboot with a brand new protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga.
Hey, how's it going?
Not only that, 7 abandons the beat-em-up action combat the series has had till now. This one takes a massive gamble by going turn-based.
You're in it now.
And another reason Like a Dragon is a good starting point, unlike nearly all the previous games, this has English voice acting. I was getting used to the Japanese voices, and I was a little worried the English dub would be no good.
Sorry, my English no good?
But I actually really like the English voices for the majority of characters.
I said, sorry, my English no good!
So real quick intro to the story, we play Ichiban Kasuga. He's a low-ranking Yakuza member of the Arakawa family.
Kasuga. Ichiban Kasuga.
Ichiban is goofy and loud but passionate and loyal. He's quite a likeable character and was abandoned as a baby, raised in a Japanese bathhouse. Ichiban is asked to take the fall for a murder committed by one of his Yakuza superiors. He comes out of prison 18 years later, betrayed by his Yakuza family and abandoned. Left homeless, jobless, and seeking the truth, kicking off a bold new era in the Yakuza series.
Alright, fellow adventurers, our great journey has begun!
Like all the previous Yakuza games, you're free to explore different cities. You can tackle main story quests at your leisure, and the streets are full of activities and minigames. I've got to admit, I did get completely addicted to some of the minigames. I'll talk more on that later. There's also loads of side quests which are generally worth doing because they're so wacky and entertaining. From escorting a man wearing only bubbles to a clothes shop,
Here, see for yourself.
to saving a crawfish named Nancy.
Nancy, you and I are gonna get on just fine.
There's plenty of enemies to fight on the streets. I quite like the turn-based combat. Fights dynamically take place right where you are in the city, and you can even knock enemies into passing cars. It feels pretty good, it's slick and fluid. Characters will even make use of objects in their environment on the way to enemies. But every now and then the characters might get a little stuck in the environments. That said, it's pretty rare and the game fixes itself after a few seconds. Like a true turn-based RPG, you can make use of status effects like poison and paralysis, and enemies have elemental weaknesses: fire, ice, lightning. One system that really surprised me was the summon system. You can call in help from a friend using your smartphone and the Poundmates service.
I summon you!
I love this new summon system. It works a bit like Final Fantasy with summons doing big cinematic attacks or special effects. It's always really fun watching a summon sequence for the first time, because they're either laugh out loud funny, like calling in a man baby to weaken enemies with the sound waves of his cries, or they're just freaking epic. Some of these have no right being so awesome. You unlock summons as you play through the main story, side activities, and help people out with side quests. Never would have expected summons in Yakuza. Love the Poundmates system.
Thanks for calling Poundmates.
There's a pretty huge variety of enemy types, and you can even get a Pokemon-like Pokédex system to track all of them. Sadly, you can't capture and battle them like Pokemon, but I still appreciate the reference.
Red, blue, or green?
Not sure where you're going with this.
There's some pretty ludicrous enemy designs.
Ludo, what?
They're almost as ludicrous as their segue. If you're enjoying this, consider subbing to Peter Bytes or liking the video for more content like this. Cover lots of RPGs. You might like my Final Fantasy series where I'm replaying them all and ranking them against each other as I go. Thank you.
Here we fucking go!
One of the reasons the turn-based combat works so well, it's held up and supported by some pretty strong RPG customization systems. Like a Dragon has a class or job system. You'd unlock more jobs as you play, like the chef who dual wields ladles and has powerful fire magic. Or a police enforcer with their lightning-based paralysis prongs. Some of the job skills and bonuses carry over to different jobs, which makes experimenting with new jobs feel rewarding. And of course, you can change your jobs at the job center. This has got to be the most insane turn-based RPG I've ever played.
Maybe I should give this gamer shit a chance.
Like a good old RPG, Like a Dragon is filled to the brim with minigames. Minigames aren't for everyone. That said, you're introduced to a handful of minigames during the story, then they're very much optional after that. You've got your usual Yakuza stuff like Sega arcades, where you can play classic games. There's Can Quest, where you ride around the streets trying to collect cans for recycling. That was decent. And a wacky minigame where you've got to stay awake by fending off sheep at the cinema. There's Dragon Kart, a kart racing minigame with multiple tracks, tournaments to progress, rival boss races, and power-ups. It was a pretty decent kart racer. It turns out some of Sega's racing game developers assisted with developing the minigame. My absolute personal favourite was running my own business. You'll need to manage staff, properties, make business decisions, and even attend and lead shareholder meetings.
Please accept my most humble apology!
I just got weirdly addicted to this and all the compounding numbers. I couldn't put it down till I had fully completed. You get a wage based on your performance, and it was a pretty good source of income.
Welcome to Ichiban Holdings.
I want to pull back to the story for a bit. Like I said, you get attached to Like a Dragon's characters very quickly. Despite this being a fresh take and new protagonist, the story is brilliant.
Yo, for real?
There's quite a few different party members through the course of the story, and they each have their own backstories and character arcs. You can build and level up bonds with each party member as you're playing. I want to say it's almost like a light version of Mass Effect's companion system. You can take the time to talk to companions about their own problems.
You're a great guy, you know that?
I feel the game even tackles a little social commentary, as in the division of classes and the struggles of working class people, or even those struggling to find a job. Compelling characters, plenty of surprises, surprisingly emotional moments. The journey of Ichiban is pretty fantastic. Maybe the best story in the series, and it still manages to have all the banter and goofy stuff.
What's wrong, Ichi? You look like you're about to shit yourself. Fuck off!
Some negatives or nitpicks I had. I found the game could be a bit grindy at times. I was doing all the side content but often felt a bit underleveled compared to the enemies.
What? Are you serious?
Some of your abilities cleave and hit multiple enemies in a small area, which is great. But despite being turn-based, enemies constantly move around. And sometimes between the time I've given a command and my party doing an ability, the enemy has moved and then won't get hit in the attack, which is a little frustrating.
Whoa, let's tone it down, buddy.
And the game features dungeons. They're pretty good. I just wish there was more of them or more unique types of dungeons. Speaking of dungeons, I want to talk about my journey to 100% and the endgame. 100% completion wasn't too hard. You'll need to complete a few minigames, level up, max out your party bonds. You'll also need to complete the final Millennium Tower, which is an endgame optional dungeon. It was a pretty fun challenge. But after that, there was one single achievement that was a complete nightmare.
Dude, what the fuck?
After completing that final tower, you have to complete the true final version of that tower, You've got no lives, it's filled with level 99 enemies, and they wrecked me. I spent the good part of the weekend grinding monsters to get all my characters maxed out, and even then it was still challenging, with hard-hitting enemies and tons of status effects. Final fight was brutal. But at least at this point they let me retry without starting over completely. Overall, had a lot of fun going for 100%, but grinding for that final true dungeon was a bit much. Alright, time to rank Yakuza like a dragon and see how many Peter Bytes it's earned. Brilliant storytelling, compelling character writing, successfully makes the leap to turn-based combat, plenty of awesome RPG stuff like the job and summon system, and some really addictive minigames, and you're not forced to do them for the most part. While this is a soft reboot for the series, you can start with Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I will admit I'm very glad I played all of the main series to this point, because all the references and maybe some of the returning characters were a lot more impactful with that knowledge of previous games. At first I was leaning to around 88 to 89, but after reflecting a bit I think this deserves a 91 for putting a smile on my face with so many laugh out loud moments while still having powerful emotional storytelling.
Music to my ears. I'll take it.
There we go. I might do a tier list for the summons next, but have a good one for now.